filtery water, which is packed with fluoride. How a mother can voluntarily give their baby toxic fluoride in the
I got to stop you on this because you're nice and say they may be doing it on purpose. They're eugenicists. I've got all the globalists bragging how we deserve it. The Journal of Pediatrics, the American Medical Association, the American Dental Association were forced 6 years ago to say that under 5 should not drink fluoride and should not brush with fluoride because they had to admit the cancer and the dental fluorosis. It is a fact that it reduces IQ. It is, and they put huge amounts, like 3 or 4 parts per million in that. And we forced them, last year to finally cut it from 1.3 to 0.7 parts per, million or billion. They had to cut basically in half the amount, or a little bit more than half, of what they put in the water. And they're banning it as a pesticide now because it bioaccumulates. I mean, this is the ultimate hoax. This chemical weapon in the hydrofluorosilicic acid range, which makes the sodium fluoride, which you do need a tiny amount of, hyper poisonous and cumulative and stick in your bones. I mean, come on, pharmacist Ben Fuchs, that's on purpose.
Well, one of the best ways to protect ourselves from fluoride is to make sure you're getting enough nutritional supplements, especially iodine, especially vitamin C, and especially vitamin E. And by the way, this whole notion of iodized salt and all we need is a tiny little bit of iodine in our salt and we won't get goiter is another health scam that does disservice to the human race. Iodine is not just a thyroid hormone, it's a critical hormone for the pineal gland, which is like a fluoride vacuum cleaner. If you're getting fluoride and you're giving your kids fluoride and you're not getting enough iodine, you are guaranteeing that your pineal gland will be shrunken and atrophied like an old man by the time you're 10, by the time you or your kid is 10 or 12 years old. So making sure that you're taking care of nutritional supplements is once again one of the best ways to protect yourself against toxicity. By the way, when it comes to water, there's not just fluoride in the water, Alex. There's measurable amounts of cardiovascular medications, of calcium channel blockers, and of antidepressants in the water, and other psychotropic medications in the water. I was just reading an article this morning that talked about fish having autism genes turned on by by swimming in water that has antipsychotic and antidepressant medication in it. Literally, fish have genes, autism genes, and those genes get turned on by having the fish swimming in antidepressant-laden water. And this is the kind of stuff that we're drinking. Not to mention if you go ahead and voluntarily take an antidepressant or an antipsychotic drug. And this whole idea, by the way, of Prozac and serotonin reuptake inhibitors is one of the biggest scandals in a whole litany of scandals.
Let me stop you for just a moment because this is so incredible. Last week, Melissa Melton on the Nightly News covered the London Guardian, big studies, headline, fish committing suicide because of serotonin reuptake inhibitors in the water. They will swim right up to bigger fish and be eaten. They will swim right up into people's nets. And what did they report 5 years ago in a federal study? Shrimp committing suicide because of Prozac. Prozac-type drugs. But here's the deal. They're finding a generic form of Prozac in water supplies at levels higher than it should be even for runoff, Ben. They're jacking the water with Prozac. There it is. Pharmacological waste runoff causing shrimp and other marine life to commit suicide. Now, that's from 2012. You guys have got to pull up. I remember the exact headline. Something like fish committing suicide on Prozac. I mean, of course. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You hit the nail on the head with those two words. Of course, we cannot expect anything to be different. Look, if you're on a prescription medication, if anybody out there is on a prescription medication, take that medication and instead of swallowing it, chew it. Let that medication hit your taste buds and your tongue. It will taste like the most toxic, repulsive poison you could ever imagine. And the reason is, it is the most toxic, repulsive poison that you could ever imagine. And the fact that you're taking it in small enough doses that you don't notice a big-time emergency poison response doesn't make that stuff less poisonous. How can we have a healthcare system manned by healthcare professionals who are sworn to do no harm that lives and subsists and does its work by poisoning people purportedly back to health? Where does this notion come from that we can pharmaceuticalize ourselves back to health and wellness? Alex, the word pharmaceutical itself, pharmaco, comes from the root word for what? Poison. You're literally, if we are taking these medications, and there's 4 billion of them, prescriptions served every year, annually in this country alone, and untold billions around the world, if we voluntarily participate in taking these poisons, we are complicit in our own demise. And folks, let me tell you something. Nutrients are what drugs dream they could be. When a drug goes to bed at night and has a fantasy, it fantasizes it's vitamin C or vitamin E or vitamin A, because these substances have the medicinal properties of the pharmaceutical agents with zero toxicity, zippo, zero. They keep trying to find people who die or have some kind of toxic response to nutrients, and they can't find them because it never happens. Yet we want to have more and more regulation on nutrients. We want to have, in the coming years, we probably will have, doctors tell us what kind and how much vitamins and nutrients we could take. And let me tell you something.
That's what they're pushing through the whole UN deal. That's official.
The whole Codex thing. That's exactly right. And in some countries, it's already started. In Germany and in Canada and in France, you can only get small amounts of vitamin C. You can only get small amounts of vitamin A. And if you want more, you got to have a doctor officially write you a prescription. And while we're on the subject...
Oh, yeah. Merck's now coming out just a few days ago officially saying you don't just need vaccines to be mandatory. Everyone needs to be on antidepressants. I mean, there's no end to the cuckoo-ness of these people.
It's cuckoo, right? It's absolutely nuts. But you know what, Alex? We have to take responsibility for our own health. We have to cease and desist from this abdication of responsibility for our health and wellness.
I agree. Where should people start? Obvious plug. We sell what we believe in. You're purchasing great products at InfoWarsHealth.com and InfoWarsTeam.com that Ben has worked on and is advising us on. Helps fund our operation. What products should people start out with?
Alex,
yeah.
Let me ask you a simple question. How many people have you talked to in the last 2 years or 2.5 years that you've been doing this that have told you that they got on the BTT and their life changed? How many people? Right? I've been hearing it since 1997.
I don't even call for it on air. We had a guy calling today about it.
It happens all the time. They lose weight. They feel better. They're off their medication. I can't tell you how many letters I've got from people who said that they started the Beyond Tangy Tangerine and they're off their medication. And that's just one product. If you want to just see for yourself, you're a little skeptical, and I like people who are skeptical. I'm skeptical myself. Get yourself on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. Go to InfoWarsHealth.com. Check it out for yourself. If you're like most people, you will notice results in 1 or 2 doses.
Absolutely. InfoWarsHealth.com. You can also call 888-789-9277. That's 888-789-9277, 888-789-9277. I want to go back to in the next segment and go to Brian, a vet who did receive letters saying he can't have his guns, and Chad and Jim and a few others who are holding patiently. We will get to you, gentlemen, so thank you for holding. And sorry it's taken so long, but we had a lot of calls to get to. You can also get all of Dr. Wallach's books available at InfoWarsStore.com. Dead Doctors Don't Lie, Hell's Kitchen, Immortality, and Let's Play Doctor. All of those at InfoWars shop.com or InfoWarsStore.com. Or sign up and get auto ship and get free shipping. That's a huge deal on the longevity products at InfoWarsHealth.com. That's the place to get free shipping. Sign up, become a distributor, and get big discounts. You can be a distributor for $10, like getting a Costco card, and it is huge discounts. All available at InfoWarsHealth.com. But let me hit a few news items before we go to break, and we'll come back with pharmacist Ben Fuchs on the other side. I promised to do this. So let's go over some of these headlines here. Papal resignation linked to inquiry into Vatican gay officials, says paper. Yeah, and pedophilia, folks. Pope staff declined to confirm or deny La Repubblica claims linking Vatican links affair and discovery of blackmailed gay clergy. Yeah, that's how they control and manipulate things. Health of Hugo Chavez not improving, Venezuelan government indicates. Russian meteorite fragments seized from local man trying to sell them online. I thought under common law, even in Russia, that would be your property. Government. People find dinosaur bones on their own property, and government comes and steals them now. Berlusconi's last throw of the dice in Italian election. What a gangster. Public schools installing panic buttons. Instead of getting teachers who can be armed with a concealed carry, teachers are going to kill people. They're going to come there with a gun anyways. Instead of that, no. They're going to put panic buttons in so you can all crouch down when there's a shooter and hit the panic button and hope the police get there in 10 minutes. So basically learn how to die. Maybe you can learn how to stand up and put a red spray paint on yourself. Detroit tops 2013 list of America's most miserable cities. Now, that's NAFTA and GATT and deindustrialization. But Obama says it's good to bulldoze half the city. It's for the earth. Rewilding, but not in China where the globalists have their investments. Philadelphia chef plans to introduce horse meat to menu at popular Sicilian restaurant. Again, everybody's obsessing over fake fish that isn't fish or is a different fish or not getting real beef. Yeah, that's horrible. But that's nothing compared to bromine and Gatorade or aspartame in 10,000+ products just in major studies. Why is diabetes up 4,000% in Hispanics? Something like 500% in whites, about 1,000% in blacks. Folks, I mean, there are genetic differences in different groups of humans. We're all the same race, but there's different variances. Just like whatever it is with the Asians that cross the Bering Strait land bridge, that's what Mesoamericans are, is we're Asians, or basically like Huns that cross. The point is that it's the same thing. Genetically, Asians, especially Native Americans, that strain cannot drink like other ethnic groups. Well, it's the same thing. Wood alcohol absolutely devastates Asians. And the North American, South American, Central American variant. And so that's what I've told you. If you're Hispanic, which is a Spanish, North African / Asian mix, you never want to touch aspartame. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at GoBerkey.com. That's GoBerkey.com today.
My name is Stephen Hewer. After 22 years of nutritional counseling, I've observed that most brain malfunctions have at their roots some form of toxicity and brain damage. So whether it is poor memory, poor focus, lack of creative thinking, or more serious matters like inability to focus, speak normally, or remember things, the emphasis to getting one's brain working optimally needs to be on detoxification. One World Whey supports your body's #1 means of detoxification, which is glutathione production.
My name is Angie, and my son has suffered from borderline autism and constipation. I got him on One World Whey, and in 2 months, his constipation is gone. He has become friendlier. He can carry on a normal conversation with me, and he has made his first friend. He's doing great, and he looks forward to taking One World Whey every day. You could offer him a present or a cake, and he would prefer the One World Whey.
Go to oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com, or call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325.